The pick is in.
The New York Rangers have made a selection in the 2024 NHL Draft. I'm Gil Martin, and we are joined by John Chick from Locked On New York Rangers to break down the Rangers' choice of EJ Emery with the 30th overall pick, presented by Indeed. There is no I in team, but there is one in Indeed, and that's the hiring platform you need to build yours. To upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/lockedon. So, John, were you surprised by the pick of a defenseman 30th overall?
No, I think it's about right for the Rangers. In recent seasons, they haven't really been taking a whole lot of defensemen in the draft. I want to say, like, in the last 4 years, only a total of 5 defensemen taken, and only 2 of them in the third round or earlier. So I think it kind of was high time for the Rangers to invest in their defensemen a little bit and bring in somebody that they feel can be a big time player for them. I was kind of torn a little bit between center and defenseman because I think the Rangers are a good team. They're in a position where they don't necessarily have to just take the best player. They should take a position where that it might be an area of weakness. They're very deep at winger. They have a couple of good winger prospects. Defenseman, you can't really say the same thing. So I'm not too surprised that they went this route. Charlie Elick was there, and I kind of liked him, but I'm definitely good with this pick of EJ Emery. I think he's somebody that, it kind of reminds me of Braden Schneider. They took him in the first round a couple of years ago, and both physical players. Maybe there's other players in the draft with slightly higher ceilings. They can become like superstar players, but similar to Schneider, I feel like Emery is one of those guys that, has a very safe floor. And if nothing else, he should be able to be, a solid NHL defenseman. Maybe not a superstar, but somebody that you plug in there and just don't really worry about it.
What do you like most about his game?
I think the size and the physicality. He's one of those players that seems to know who he is. The one drawback is that he's a defenseman, so it's not really that big of a deal, but it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of offense to his game, at least going by his stats. But, you got somebody here that's a puck-moving defenseman, and we saw how important that can be. The Ranger defenseman, really scuffled against the Panthers in the ECF this year, really kind of getting pinned in their own zone, unable to move the puck. But apparently Emery, a very good passer and a very good skater, especially for somebody that's 6'3" and a defenseman. But just somebody that, overall has a lot of good traits. He plays very physical, apparently said to have a very high hockey IQ as well. And those are all good traits, and somebody that I think, we won't see him right away, but he'll eventually work his way to the NHL. And that's another thing about the Rangers is they'll give you your chance. They don't really hesitate. If you're like 19 or 20, they'll throw you into the NHL if they feel like you're ready. So I don't think we'll see Emery this next season, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was as soon as, maybe even the season after that one. It's at least possible.
All right. Well, for more on the New York Rangers, subscribe to Locked On New York Rangers on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And for more on EJ Emery, let's get an inside look on his path to the NHL.
Is EJ Emery a slam dunk first-round talent in the 2024 NHL Draft? I'm Sebastian High from Locked On NHL Prospects, ready to give you a breakdown of his game. Emery is a 6'3", 183-pound smooth skating right shot defenseman who played with the U.S. National Team Development Program last season. In 61 games, he scored 16 points, all assists. The offensive ceiling is certainly a little bit limited, but he is the best rush defender eligible in this draft class. He's able to combine his high degree of physicality, excellent mobility, and strong sense of timing in the defensive zone to steal space and time away from his opponents. He's off to a strong program at the University of Minnesota next season to progress his game, and with 4 or 5 years of development, he could turn into a Chris Tanev style of NHL player. If you want to learn more about Emery or other 2024 draft eligibles, make sure to check us out at Locked On NHL Prospects on YouTube or wherever you find your podcasts.
And for continuing coverage of the 2024 NHL Draft, subscribe to Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.